the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know.
It's like a miracle. It will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. Nobody really knows.
Well, the nation's latest confirmed coronavirus case is in Texas. It's also our state's first case.
Governor Abbott announcing an executive order including no gatherings of 10 or more people.
At the start of the lockdown, most made the best of an unfamiliar situation. Sometimes with humor, and sometimes with faith.
Ooh, shelter them, O Lord, and keep them tied to ancient ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. Fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you.
But as time passed, tensions began to run high.
My name is Kurt Strauson, and I'm a filmmaker, photographer, documentarian, and one of my true passions is covering protests. Some of these people I agree with, some of the people I definitely don't agree with. Because of the lockdown, there are a number of protests that are about to happen here in Dallas, and people are quite pissed. We're heading down to Dealey Plaza, the site of the famous Kennedy assassination, to interview a group of protesters who demand the state open up. I've been overdosing on homeopathic medicine all day. I have my essential oils, and I also did this.
So let's do this.
Shut down the shutdown. Shut down the shutdown.
I am here because I believe in freedom. I believe the coronavirus is way overplayed. It is destroying our economy. It's destroying our prosperity. It's destroying our Constitution.
How do you think Donald Trump has handled the shutdown?
I think he listened to the wrong people.
Elected officials work for us. Elected officials work for us.
Hello, guys.
What's up there, buddy?
How are you?
You should settle down, pick your peace from the ground. Follow that oxbow to where the water runs clean.
So how do you feel about Facebook deleting people's accounts for supporting events like this?
I think it's horrible. I mean, it's censorship, and in a free society that doesn't work. I'm ex-military. I spent 3 years along the Iron Curtain that was separated the East and West Germany, and you could see the tragic effect that censorship and a strong government had on suppressing people. First they censor you, and then you do something else they don't like, and it just goes on and on. One man, as the county judge, decided all by himself, without talking to anybody, he was going to shut down a county of 2 million people.
Do you believe that the coronavirus is as dangerous as they're saying it is?
I know in my office we were all sick in January. Nobody's been sick in March and April. And I don't know anybody that's got it, anybody that's suffered from it. I think politicizing this at all is horrible. And that's where we've gotten to.
Because of what happened in China, all of those pills that are made in China have not come to the United States. And I can't get resupply. And I have 12, count them, 12 days until my medication runs out and I die slowly. I'm telling you, we need to make our medication here in the United States. So please, call your congressmen, call your senators. Anything that has to do with critical infrastructure must be made inside the United States.
Dark Sergeant, you won't abandon your post, it's long gone. The brass castanis, your pure conviction.
Amen!
You've got to be focused. You will not be reelected.
Amen!
How come you're covering your face up? I mean, no one can see who you are.
Yeah, I know.
Why? How come?
And you are?
I don't know. I don't have a name.
Oh, great. Ditto.
Anyway, just one plus. Go on.
Oh, good.
Bill Gates is notorious for his vaccine empire. Dr. Fauci never says one word about shutting down. He keeps talking about we can't shut down. I mean, we cannot open up until we have a vaccine. Guess what, folks? He has vaccines on the market. He is tied in with Bill Gates, tied. Dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery? Dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery? Clay Jenkins and others are using badly flawed models to draw unscientific conclusions that have utterly scared the living daylights out of our county citizens. The numbers do not support the extreme measures that Judge Jenkins is burdening us with. The truth is that because of the way we handled this pandemic, all right, proper research could not be done to learn what we needed to know before making smart decisions about how to balance protecting health while maintaining economic viability. Bill Gates and WHO have been together using these people as guinea pigs for vaccinations. They have put sterility drugs in the water so that women could not have babies. We need to get rid of Bill Gates. We need to investigate the Bill and Melinda Gates empire. We need to get rid of all of these.
Shut down the shutdown.
This fake flu may come back again. So what they're doing is they're setting up the system right now to either make you take the chip or force vaccination. They've been chipping the dogs for 30 years. So we know that this is already ready to go. But this is, I mean, how can you shut down the world, entire world over a stupid flu? One world government is what it is, all about one world government.
What do you think about some of the people wearing masks, ones taking precaution? Do you think they're not true to the cause?
No, hey, this is all about freedom and liberty. So if you want to, wear a mask, that's fine. But just don't force me. And if you get on the internet, you'll be able to see Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. She's one of them that they monitor flus around the world, and this is a common cold.
The natural rights does not end where your fear begins. I thought that was pretty good.
I think it's great.
If people are concerned, let them stay home, right?
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But let the rest of us get out and live our lives.
Free the people, man.
Amen.
Free the people.
That passport will be used to determine whether you go to work or not. Your employee will say, have you been vaccinated? You say, it is my constitutional right not to be vaccinated. Amen. They'll tell you to go home until you're vaccinated. You can't work here. This is the kind of draconian measures that is facing our nation today. And if we don't wake up, and if we don't push back, these liberties are gone. And if they go away, guess what, folks? They're not coming back again.
Why do they have the power to start with to send in stormtroopers to Hobby Lobby? They are exceeding their authority on the Greek pictures. Okay, folks, we have a crisis. Yes, we do have a crisis with this virus. We also have a crisis in our economy. We are here out of love of America, love of Texas, love of Dallas. This is about bringing back the joy of freedom to our country and to our county.
Settle down now, I'll be good to you. You might not shake them darker days, they'll slowly stop shaking you.
Well, hi everybody. Here I am at the Sacramento Capitol with police in riot gear pushing the protesters, the peaceful protesters back and off the ground. We've been here for hours and I never saw anything violent happening, from the demonstrators, from the protesters, from our group, the health choice community and the conservatives, and even some Democrats were here.
friends and wives. He sent you partners that will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend. May the Lord protect and defend you. Preserve you from May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them with happiness. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer.
Call to reopen for business is growing louder around the country.
Defiant promise kept to open the doors of her business, Salon a la Mode.
I think Shelley Luther is an amazing, brave, inspirational woman. When I was in there, the stylists were all masked up. Everything smells clean. It was clean and amazing. They don't let anybody in without a mask. I know that every salon and boutique could take those same precautions very easily. So I don't understand why they're not opened up right now. So we're seeing there's a lot of regulations that shouldn't exist at all and should have never existed to begin with, because if they went ahead and suspended them now, then there was no need for them to begin with. So hopefully a lot of people will see that.
So you're not with MSNBC, right?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, good. This non-essential lady running non-essential business decided that she has to do what she has to do to support her family, to allow people that work for her to support their families. Because some layman, some judge who decided to be king decides who's essential, who's not essential. This is not how this country works, and this is coming from immigrant from Russia. Second Amendment is the check system on the power of the government. They are not rulers, they are servants, and they should be reminded every now and then of that. When the powers that be say what you must do, what you not must do, there's an interesting thing that happens. Whether it's a young guardsman standing on top of APC with a belt-fed machine gun, all of a sudden he has a godlike power. And he's looking at all these stupid citizens, slaves, screaming about how it is unjust. And it's hard to explain to people the danger of that feeling of the young man with the gun who works for government, who does the government's bidding, standing there, and he's being called names. He's going to be called the red coat, he's going to be called other names, and he's going to take it personally. People think that for bad things to happen, it takes some kind of majority. No. You know, the communist revolution in Russia happened with less than 5% support. And the tyranny can come with the just loud screeching of 5% of shut them all down because they're endangering the health. These ladies are not endangering anyone's health. You feel endangered, stay the hell home. Salons and the small mom and pop shops and the farmer's market, but not in Walmart, right? This is making no sense. This is a power play. This is a test run for tyranny, how much people will take. So these 5 folks here, they're not posturing. It's a simple check system. Okay? Your power is not unlimited, and at some point you may cross the line. Okay? It has happened at Bundy Ranch. This is not some extremist talk. This is not some gun nut talk. This is simple. This is America. I'm immigrant. Okay, and we the people. It's as simple as that.
We're here to let the community know we're here for you. We are here to help the average American, because we're not just here for Salon a la Mode. We're here for all of these businesses in case the government somehow deems that they are non-essential and that they're going to go after them.
That you now see the error of your ways and understand that the society cannot function where one's own belief in a concept of liberty permits you to flaunt your disdain for the rulings of duly elected officials. That you owe an apology to the elected officials whom you disrespected by flagrantly ignoring and in one case defiling their orders, which you now know obviously apply to you. That you represent to this court that you will today cease operation of your salon and not reopen until after further orders of the government permit you to do so.
It definitely was not a fair
fair trial. The judge had made up his mind already before it even started, and really did not give her attorney much of a chance to speak.
You know, is there something to worry about with medicines? That is, might some of them have side effects? Do we need safety testing? I mean, and we're taking things that are, you know, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them into little kids' arms.
I want people to stick to the lockdown, but if they're saying one thing and doing another, it's just disgusting. It's tyranny. But it also makes you think, what do they know that we are not being told? If they're doing this, they're obviously not that bothered about it. They're not worried about it. The chief scientific advisor creating that report, he wasn't social distancing. Why? Why is he not worried about it? Because he's probably not watching mainstream media. He knows that the figures have been fudged. He knows that this has been exaggerated. And he knows that there's a tyranny going on right now. And the rest of us are falling victim to it.
Today is probably the most powerful, most important, most potent day on our planet. Global protest against 5G. The real lockdown has been woven around us and is being woven around us as we speak, and it's a 5G technological prison.
Why did this pass in the dead of night when all of us were locked down? Nobody knows anything about it, and nobody's willing to discuss it. It's 300 million, guys. We've got over 2 million people that are out of work in the state. And the $300 million that could be used for some good things also has an election software. So they will be tracking who you vote for. Did you know that? It's already operational. In Oklahoma, MTX is saying that there's a high probability that they will require COVID testing for all employees and students in Oklahoma before they can return to school or work. It isn't alert the local authorities, and it isn't having a state with a $295 million contract. When people talk to you and say, well, we had contact tracing, this is not the same contact tracing, guys.
I don't want to be traced. He's violating my constitutional rights.
Okay.
By tracing me. I didn't get permission. DAS is the name of the owner.
Got it. And so DAS represents Devil, Antichrist, Satan?
And Satan, yep.
Okay.
We don't want to see the new ways of Texas contact tracing. And we don't want mandatory COVID testing. And we don't want them outsourcing our data, our precious data, to another country. So I want you guys to see how we feel about these kind of things. Show them how we feel. Thank you, guys.
I want to ask you a question. No, come here.
Okay.
Could I take my hypodermic needle and stick it in you? No. All right. So if I can't do it, can I elect Senator Bob Hall as a duly elected official and get him to stick a needle in your arm? No. So no one has the authority to stick a needle in me or put an app on my phone or put a tattoo on my arm. No authority. That's right. No authority. Where does authority come from? God. And he did not give anybody the authority to do anything to me, not in the name of public safety, not in the name of anything that I don't want done to me. Do you get it?
So a hell of a lot of things have been going down the past few weeks here in Texas. We've got Shelley Luther, the owner of the Salon a la Mode, who is now become the darling of the Open Texas crew. Heading right now down to Dallas, just like last time, Dealey Plaza, where they're going to have her give a speech. Something bigger is happening right now, and it's more than just a salon.
Run for office!
Since the last protest, she's had Ted Cruz getting a haircut in his fabulous leopard-covered outfit, and the good old Sarah Palin showed up. That's exciting. We'll be heading down there anytime now, about an hour. We'll be boots on the ground, and we'll be back.
We need to open up Texas. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, now.
Reopen Texas now.
Reopen Texas now.
Open Texas now.
Reopen Texas now! Compared to Texas, it was born in Alabama. At the twilight's last stripes and bright stars through the perils.
Oh, there you are.
The plaque up there in the ground?
No, I haven't read that one.
When you have a chance to go up and read it, it is an excerpt from a speech that was given by JFK before he was shot. I'm the one that made that plaque. Under that plaque is a very special inscription, and no one knows it until today. And if you take a camera and you go along the bottom edge of the top of the plaque, you will find that inscription. When peaceful revolution becomes impossible, violent revolution becomes inevitable.
How does a governor in his state let somebody come in here from St. Louis and tear down the Alamo? Or Nuremberg? And he says, don't say the Chinese coronavirus. China. We're in a trade war with China. What do you mean? Don't make them mad? Traitors. What do you do when we have traitors? You have to stand against them. We're not lawless people. We stand for law until the nation becomes lawless, until the devil takes over, and then you start having stuff like this. And the rockets the bombs bursting in air.
You did not do that with jet fuel. They planted a nuclear bomb on the granite bedrock underneath the building. It vaporized the 100-foot deep hole in the building. It sent a shockwave up through the core of the building, which fragmented the core elevator and stairway.
I call her a hero. She says she's just a person, but she is the one that's gotten a lot of these orders lifted that are going on in this country.
Amen. He's real because he cut my hair yesterday in Shelley's salon.
Yes, I did. That's a difficult haircut.
Weren't you at the drag queen protest?
Which one?
Last year.
But yeah, I was.
Dallas Library. Okay, I was just curious.
I organized it.
Got it. You organized all this?
Yes.
Wow.
My church is it's an organization. It's an ex-gay organization. It is a ministry out of California. It's a group of people who have been transformed by Jesus Christ and been set free from homosexuality and transsexuality. I myself used to be a drag queen and a transsexual prostitute. In fact, I used to perform with Cassie Nova and Jenna Sky, who is in here leading the Drag Queen Story Hour.
That's impressive.
Well, thank you.
It's like really impressive.
Who were you with?
These liberties, these freedoms, in the name that is above all other names, the name of Jesus, who is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and God's people said, Thank you, Pastor.
I'm Pastor Stephen Broden. I'm the senior pastor at the Fair Park Bible Fellowship Church. And we're here because we recognize that there's an attempt on the part of the LGBT agenda, Q agenda, to re-indoctrinate our children into an ideology that is antithetical to that which is taught within the scripture. Can't get around the word of God and what God has to say about what is right versus what is wrong.
The deep state and the previous administration, which attempted to do a coup d'etat of our duly elected president, and then they tried to impeach him. And then right before our very eyes, they are trying now, the same crowd, to do a coup d'etat on our Constitution
and our liberties. Through incrementalism and gradualism, they have moved our society into the hands of a monster bureaucracy, maneuvering and manipulating crises to rob us of our God-given liberties. Through fear and false flag situations, they have expanded government into every aspect of our lives and threatening forced vaccinations and mandated medicine.
Where does your material go? Does it go on the internet?
Are you willing to suffer under the oppressive hand of a socialistic attempt to try to undermine our Constitution? Who seek to enslave us and to change our economy? And the Freudians have taken over, and they're moving us away from our God-given principles. We have slept, and our nation and our morality has been redefined. Gender is no longer an option. It is now whatever you declare it to be. Push back! Push back! Push back! Push back! Push back!
Get through the night, and our flag was still there.
Let me see your credentials. Your credentials for the fellow press guard. Let me see your face.
No, what?
So I know who I'm
You're
watching.
a police officer.
Okay, I know that, but I'm hired by the by my principal, and they're being uncomfortable. So I just want to know who I'm looking at. I don't care. I'm not going to do anything to them. I'm just want my visual.
No, you don't need that.
Okay, they don't come close to them. I'll make sure you don't see close to them next time. They feel uncomfortable if you get behind them. So if you would, don't mind.
I'm just standing. This is a public square. Everyone has the right to be here.
I know you do. I know you do. I'm just saying.
And you're not a police officer. I'm not being detained.
I know you're not. Don't give me all the crap, okay? I don't care about that stupid shit. Just don't get close to her, or make sure you don't get close to her.
Well, if 3,000 are recovered from 127,000 positive tests, that's 124,000 that have recovered, right? Because we've only got 111 deaths. The things that I'm going to tell you today are from my personal experience in my office. I don't want to bring statistics from other physicians because there's always someone on the left that wants to contradict me. These patients present in panic. They are afraid. They are anxious. They're actually afraid to get diagnosed. If they have a fever, they're sent home and told to quarantine to save the rest of society. During those many precious days when they're sent away and sent home, they infect their family members. Here's what I heard from the Texas Medical Association. We need to increase visas to bring in foreign medical doctors to help us take care of COVID patients. Really? Are you kidding me? Here's what the pharmacist told me. I'm not going to prescribe this. I'm not going to fill it. I'm not going to dispense it without a diagnosis. I told him, this is privileged information between me and the patient. Your job is to put the pills in the bottle. Remember we talked about the freedoms and the liberties that we're losing without you and me even knowing that we're losing them? I want Walgreens and their administrators and administrative offices to hear me. They have instructed their pharmacists to give you a friendly call. If you're taking a prescription for hydroxychloroquine, they're going to personally call you and tell you that they want you to come through the driveway. Well, you know what? Maybe later they'll ask you to wear a yellow star on your shirt. It's time to open Texas.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave?
For Allison?
Okay, thank you.
Who do you work for?
I'm independent.
Independent?
Yeah, I've been to
Well, you know what?
15 times.
Well, you know what?
I don't touch.
Well,
I got mall cops yelling at me because I'm not showing my face.
King George and the Redcoats and General Gage, they all violated their oaths, and they violated the rights of the people, and they reaped the whirlwind. I'd rather live on my feet and die on my feet than to live on my knees. To stand firm and let the message be sent to them, come and take it.
People that are telling you that you can't go out and earn your living,
They ain't giving up their daggone paycheck. And guess what? Who provides them their paycheck? Do you think that they're going to give you a tax holiday coming up soon? Absolutely not. This is what happens. This is tyranny. Rosa Parks said, I'm an American woman. Rosa Parks said, I'm going to sit where I want. And Rosa Parks said, I'll be damned what the consequences are. Because I am free. You tell these people that want to institute this illegal martial law. You tell these people that want to institute this house arrest. You tell these people you don't have the enumerated power to do what you're doing. Those people that stood up against the Roman Empire. And he stood up and said, give me the man Spartacus. And one by one, they stood up and said, I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. This woman said, as Patrick Henry said, you can give me liberty, you can give me death, you can send me to the jail, but I am not going to give you the power over me as an independent individual in New Texas. That's what she said.
I don't feel like I'm leading anything. I feel like my dad, who fought in the wars, and all of these war veterans, you led the way. We're trying to get that back. Amen. We all get a second chance. Yes. All right. And I'll use my, what people have been calling white privilege to do that.
The Mont de Salon racist hypocrite supported by Governor Abbott and A.G. Paxton opens up her business and opens up a GoFundMe account and raises $500,000. But a barber in South Dallas opens up his business and they threaten to arrest him and not a single penny was raised by him. That's the difference and the disparity in justice.
I don't know a lot of people that go to jail for 2 days and wake up with $500,000. So, with Ellen calling and stuff, so it's weird. Judge Moyer. I don't care who you think you are, what Cuban cigars you smoke, what thick steaks you have when there's not even any meat in the grocery stores. You're not better than us. And you got to go. And we've only just begun.
Abbott had the authority to do anything. He's got the authority today, right now, to open us up. He's calling Washington, D.C. every day for advice. Those are the elitists, know-it-alls that cause the problem. Open up Texas! Open up Texas! Open up Texas! Open up Texas! Open up Texas!
You're here because you're patriots. I woke up this morning, I was praying for us, and I was thinking, Lord, you have us here for today for a purpose, and this weekend is very memorial. We have people that died for our freedoms, and we want to honor them. They were patriots. You didn't sit at home when your freedoms were being removed. You were here trying to give a message to our government and to our leaders that we want freedom, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there.
We went from a place in April where our businesses were closed, churches were closed, liberties were threatened, work not done, and now we're opening up in Texas. But listen, not until every business is 100% open with no restrictions. Not until every church is open, 100% open, with no restrictions. Not until all individuals have 100% of their God-given rights back, restored. Not until all of this, and so this will never happen again in Texas. Certain leaders in our state are trying to use this crisis to infringe upon our liberties. Forced COVID vaccinations. Mandatory COVID testing. Microchipping. Mandatory contact tracing. Never in Texas! Never in Texas! Never in Texas!
I want to send a message to the Democrats, and that is that we are not going to have mail-in ballots. We are going to go, and we're going to vote in person no matter what it takes. So do not try to force this down our throats, or we will fight you in court, and we will make sure that we will have an open, honest election in this state and in this nation. All right.
I'm here today for the same reason you are here, which is to fight for our First Amendment rights and to ensure that my 3 children and your children and great-grandchildren will have a future in this state. Telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States when men were free. The radical left has redefined the family. Media no longer practices journalism. Judges legislate from the bench. And now the latest is shutting down of our economy, our churches, our schools, and our businesses, and our livelihood. And fellow patriots, I say, when is enough going to be enough? Are we going to sit by and accept this totalitarian form of government in America? Are we going to allow fascism to tell us where we can leave our homes, who we can interact with, where we can shop, how we can live our lives, and now who we're going to snitch on? Sorry, is this Nazi Germany? Is this fascist Italy? Is this communist Russia? Folks, enough is enough, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why you're here today. We do not want socialism in America. The Bernie Sanders experiment has failed, the Bill Gates experiment has failed, and now the Dr. Fauci experiment has failed. Dr. Fauci is nothing more than the spokesperson for the radical left who wants to reshape America into a totalitarian form of government. Folks, we will not become prisoners of the concentration camp they call quarantining. Govern ourselves so that we do not depend on a tyrannical government to become the God in our life that wants to dictate our very existence. Amen.
You gonna show us your face? I want to introduce real quick to you. You know, we have 4,000 people in Open, Texas right now. We are so thankful for each one of you. This is about your voice, not our voice. We are just helping y'all to have a voice.
We want to see your face. We find it odd that you're putting us all on tape, but you won't even show your face. It feels like hypocrisy. It feels like an invasion, a little bit. You know what I mean? You're all covered up. I know, but why are you covered and you're filming all of us? It's just
because it's.
I don't think that's very macho or manly. As far as I'm concerned, that's a little cowardly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can interpret it as
I'll
cowardice.
just call you a coward then.
Okay. You think they're gonna like piss me off by calling me a
I'm
coward?
just telling you. I'm letting you know that we see you and what you're doing.
I'm aware you see me. That's why I'm wearing a yellow shirt.
I know, but you're covering your face. What does your press pass say? What are you, robbing a train or something? Why are you wearing a bandana?
IAPP, which is International Association of Press Photographers.
I mean, so you're part of the propaganda corps, is what you're saying.
so
you're part of the. You are. You're part of the media propaganda machine.
And I'm doing a documentary about the
last time we were here, there was a dude with a drone, and I don't like it, man. I don't like it. He was also covering his face. Okay, well, I'm just pointing out this man is covering his face while filming all of us and his eyes.
This is the celebration
and his
eyes. And memory of people
I
who
just
have
don't
literally given their lives.
All right, there you go.
In the service of their
It's
country.
not a. It's just not about. What does that have to
No
do with
more
anything?
solemn occasions
Why is it-
exist.
you have nothing
on
My
our
husband's
country.
eyes are brown.
And they fought
No, we're
for what
we're
all of
uncomfortable
you
with
are
it.
here fighting
Tough
for.
shit. It's a public forum.
Every one of you.
I'm not stopping
Every
you.
one of
You're
you.
right. I'm not.
We have a
You're
symbol
right.
of that fight and that freedom. Our allegiance to the great state of Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The real pandemic is not a virus. The most dangerous pandemic, in fact, is not even these petty tyrants and drunk on power politicians across the nation.
No, in fact, I hate to say it, friends, but the COVID crackdowns, the unconstitutional orders that have spread across this nation would not have happened if it wasn't for the real problem that has been festering underneath the surface for decades. Just as a virus needs a weakened immune system to prey upon, in the same way, bad government and petty tyrants need a weakened society upon which to prey. If we hadn't lost those things, none of this would have happened. And so as we look out there across the nation and we realize those things are happening, it's up to us to turn this thing around. Just make sure that you're like Paul Revere, you're sounding the warning, and you're getting your friends and family involved. Abraham Lincoln said in his Gettysburg Address that it's from these honored dead that we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave the last full measure.
God bless Texas.
all type of races, all type of people. This ain't race versus race. It's oppressor versus oppression. Oppressor versus oppression. We are here to make a statement. We sent our emails. We went on social media. We sent our letters. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! Oh shit, they're gonna squeeze it. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! If you were with us, you'd be standing with us!
The spring.
Don't throw shit! Anybody got tear gas solution? Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! They're working hard to force them to check us. Goofy! Fuck 12! You
It's the fucking media, you piece of shit! It's the fucking media you're shooting at! Hey!
Fuck you!
You're not gonna shoot him! But I ain't got shit on you, right? You Jim Crow ass motherfuckers! We are unarmed, you fucks!
Shoot!
Fucking fuck you! You shoot right at us! You shoot right at us!
Oh, there's that tear gas. Ugh.
Stop throwing shit!
Damn it!
Are you okay?
Look at that dumbass. Trash can over there? Knock this one down.
Now that I have experienced the tremendous, unique experience of being shot with a rubber bullet, ow, and walking makes it worse. Looks like the crowd is moving past the courthouse. There is a massive line of police officers in riot gear, tear gas, pepper spray, and now I'm following everyone because I have no idea what's happening.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! Fuck police!